Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Finding Joy in Your Vestibular Journey.
I'm Joy.
I'm Marissa.
Come join us on this journey as we navigate life with a vestibular disorder.
We want to bring hope and awareness to others by sharing personal experiences, hearing from medical professionals, and other vestibular warriors.
Are you ready to dive into this journey with us? Welcome to another episode of Finding Joy in Your Vestibular Migraine Journey. Today, we are so excited. We have Areyana with us, and she is a graphic designer, entrepreneur with her photography, and a student. And we met her in one of our vestibular support groups, and we are just beyond excited to have her on here. So welcome, Areyana. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here with us. So of course we want to hear your story. How did your whole vestibular journey begin? And kind of how was your life before and kind of now, how is it?
Okay, so starting out in high school, I was taking birth control pills for like acne because I heard that like it's good for like clearing your skin and stuff. And so I just stayed on them, got hooked on them. I started getting headaches and stuff, and I told my doctor. So then she lowered the dosage, and I was still having a headache. So I was on the pills for about 3 years. I got off of them in December of 2021 because I was just like, I can't do it with the headaches no more. And then March of 22, I was outside for a walk with my boyfriend, and we were just walking like in his neighborhood, and I just felt like lightheaded. Like it just like hit me, and I just had to like stop and take a break. And it was just like so weird, like it scared me, like I had anxiety. So we ended the walk. We went back in the house, and then the lightheadedness went away. Then a couple days later, that's when the dizziness started. It was every day, all day, from the time I woke up, from the time I went to sleep, and I didn't know what was wrong. So the first thing I did was go to the doctor. My doctor told me to go to an ENT to see if it was like from my inner ears or like the crystals to see if it was like BPPV or anything. So it wasn't from my ears when I went to the ENT. So then my doctor referred me to a neurologist, and the neurologist, he was a good doctor, but he wasn't good like with getting back to me, like letting me know my MRI results on time or anything. It's like I had to call the doctor to like figure out like what's the next step, what's going on and stuff. So then I was prescribed by him topiramate or Topamax, and I heard it was just so many like bad side effects with that, and I didn't want to take it at all because I was scared. And during this time, I had started getting tremors, like my hands would like shake. When I would sleep in bed, I would get like numbness from like my arms, my legs, and just feel like my whole bed is like vibrating and stuff. And throughout the summertime of 2022, I had like this burning sensation in my head. It just felt like it was just like a fire, just like in the middle of my head at the top. It was just like burning all day, and I didn't know what was wrong. Like I honestly thought like I had like a couple of strokes and didn't know. So I got another MRI, and everything came back positive and stuff. Nothing was wrong. So I'm just like at this point, I'm like, what do I do? What's wrong with me? Like, why am I still dizzy? Why am I still having these headaches? And like I didn't know what to do. I was just lost. And then with the neurologist, I wasn't getting any calls back. So it just put me like in a really like bad space. Like I feel like I lost my life last year because like I lost kind of friends. I went distant. I was dealing with this on my own. I had no one to talk to. I was like alone. I would stay in my room. I would cry every night because it was stressful. I couldn't work anymore. I had to quit working. I had to take a semester off of college because I couldn't like sit at my computer for long or focus and get like my assignments done on time. And it was just bad. Like my friends would reach out to me like, "Can we go to the mall?" And I couldn't go to the mall because I wasn't working. I didn't have any money, so it's like I was just like embarrassed, and I didn't want to tell my friends I was like, broke because I was just sad with everything going on. I was just like so alone.
How did you first suspect that you had vestibular migraines and PPPD?
Okay, so when I first suspected it, when I didn't have a diagnosis yet, I was just Googling like why am I having daily dizziness and migraines? And the first things that popped up was vestibular migraines and PPPD. So I knew it would be something around those two because all the symptoms that was like listed on the internet, that was like everything I was having, like the brain fog, the all day dizziness, the migraines, and just everything that came with that. So once I had like my diagnosis, well, not my diagnosis, my self-diagnosis, like pointed out, I was just researching it to figure out like treatment plans and stuff like that. And so I think later that week after I've done like all my researching, my neurologist told me to come in, and after he told me everything was good with my MRI, he told me that he's pretty sure that it's vestibular migraines, and so that's how I got my official diagnosis.
How did that make you feel once you had your diagnosis? Did it put some pieces of the puzzle together for you?
Yes, it did because it was just like, okay, so now I have a diagnosis. So like what do I do now? What is my treatment options and how do I go from here? And so I just couldn't take the Topamax or Topiramate that I was telling you all about because the side effects. And so I was just trying to get in the process of finding a new neurologist. So after that, I went without a neurologist all the way until December, and then I found John Hopkins Community Hospital because I'm in Maryland, and so I saw that they like specialize in vestibular migraines and dizzy people, and just everyone that has like the same problems that I was going through. So I was really happy about that. And so right now just in the process of trying to get a neurologist at John Hopkins so I could go in for my first appointment and get my treatment plan. And then I also have an appointment coming up in March with Dr. Bay. So I'm happy about that, excited too, because I heard he's a good doctor for vestibular migraines and
That's
vestibular
great.
disorders.
Um, it just sounds like you being so proactive and all this has really helped you a lot. And I'm so glad that you got into John Hopkins and then you have Dr. Bay's appointment coming up because so you still haven't been taking anything, right? For this?
No prescription medication. The only things that I'm taking right now is magnesium, and that has been helping with my migraines because my migraines were every day. So, and the other supplement I'm taking is B1, and I started taking B1 in the summertime of last year when I told you all I had like the tremors and the numbness and the vibration feeling. I think it was called internal tremors. Yeah, I was having those. So when I was taking the B1, it stopped my tremors completely, and I was just so happy because I could not go to sleep with my body feel like it's just shaking, my bed feel like it's just shaking. So I still take the B1 in case like my numbness ever try to come back because I did used to get numbness down my arms, my hands, and my legs. So they work pretty good for the numbness and the weakness and the tremors.
How has this impacted your life since going through all of, I mean, you're so young, so how has that impacted your life, your college, your social?
So this has had like a big impact on my life. Like my life, it like completely changed. Like at first when I was going through it, starting out, I was bedbound. I didn't want to go out. I didn't want to go nowhere. And then I started getting anxiety. Like I never had anxiety like that bad in my life before. Like every time like I would get up, my heart would like I could feel my heart being on my chest, and it would cause me to have a panic attack, and it would cause me to keep going in and out of the hospital because I thought I was having a heart attack. So that was like the hardest part, getting over the anxiety and trying to like calm down. It was like really hard to go through that. And I couldn't go into stores. I was afraid to go to stores because I feel like I would feel that dizzy sensation, and then I would just get a panic attack in the store and not know what to do. I couldn't drive because I was scared. Like I went months without driving because it was just like a fear. Like I would probably like crash or something and get like anxiety or panic attack behind the wheel. I couldn't go out anywhere, have fun with my friends because, the public situation, that's probably gonna make my anxiety worse. Because especially when I didn't tell anybody what I was going through, so nobody really knew what was going on. And it would be like the embarrassment that would cause me to have anxiety. And I had to drop my fall semester of college at school because I couldn't focus, and I was like, I was really sad. Like that, it was just heartbreaking, because it's like you see all your friends living the college life, and like I can't even do college, like at least online either. So it's just like I felt like I was just failing at life because I didn't have a job. I wasn't doing nothing but just sitting in my room, and I was just like so sad. So it really had a big impact on my life, but I will say I'm happier now. I'm in a better place than I was last year because of your support group. And
Thank you.
yeah, it meant a lot for me because I just keep thinking, I was just like keep thinking about that girl that was last year just crying alone in her room and stuff and didn't have no one to talk to. I couldn't find no one like on the internet that was like going through the same thing as me that I could like actually have like a conversation with. So it was just like I was just going through everything alone, and nobody really understood like my diagnosis, and I had to keep explaining and they still didn't get it. So it was like that didn't help either, and I didn't have no one to talk to.
Yes, I can relate so much to that because that's exactly how I was completely. And that's why, I'm doing this to help people. And Joy and I, we don't want people to feel alone. We don't want them to go through that because the anxiety and everything that comes with this illness, it's so awful and so frightening. Did you feel that you had a support system? Was there some people around to help you?
Yes, I feel like my mom was like my biggest support system because it's like she was making the effort to try to understand my diagnosis, and I like really appreciated that. She would do her own little researches and ask me like, how often are your migraines? How often are you dizzy? And she would just try to like make the effort to try to just learn and make sure I'm okay. So she was like my biggest support system. And with my dad, he didn't really understand it. He would just be like, it's probably just vertigo, or you just get it every once in a while. And I'm like, no, Dad, like I'm dizzy 24/7. Like my dizziness doesn't stop. And he would just be like, you're lying. No, you're lying. It doesn't last that long. And I'm like, yes, it does. How are you going to tell me how I feel? So it's like he's still supportive, but my mom is a bigger support system because she actually understands now. She did her research and made her effort. And when I finally told my friends what I was going through last year, they were just they were just like heartbroken. They were just like, why didn't you tell me? You could have reached out to me. I could have came to see you. You didn't have to come to us. We could have hung out at your house, stayed in the house, anything, watch movies. And so when I told them, they were like really there for me, and they was making their efforts to like search up stuff to, find TikToks of vestibular migraines, exercises that I could do to not feel dizzy and to like kind of like ground myself and regain balance. So my friends and my family and my mom and dad were like my biggest support systems during that time.
And we've heard some exciting news that you've started a new job. So how has
Yeah.
that been going?
So,
And have any of your vestibular symptoms, do you encounter that during your new job?
um, yeah, so I started a new job at my college. I work at the bookstore there. So I'm basically like a cashier. I stock the shelves. I pull online orders for like college students and like the books they need for class and stuff. And I work part time because I can't work long hours on my feet that long because the dizziness. So
Mhm.
the dizziness is there the whole time while I'm working, but I feel like when I'm moving, I don't really notice it that much. But if I'm standing still like in one place, that's when I feel it the most. Work, and I did tell like my manager, like I'm a chronic busy person and I have migraines often, and she just gave me the okay to like leave early if I ever feel like out of it, or like take a break, or just like like have a little rest and then come back and restart my work. And she let me pick my own hours, which was great because I'm about to start college again this Tuesday. Actually, I'm about to start college again as
Oh,
a student, so I'm re-enrolled. So I'm happy about that. I only have 3 classes, and they're not like every day, so I have like one every other day, so that's good. So that's how work is going. Work has been good, and I feel like it came out better for me since I actually told my manager like what I go through and how I have to like take these breaks or like can't stand that long. So it really helped, and she understood.
oh.
Thank you.
Um, and I know Joy and I are so excited that you signed on with VeDA, vestibular.org, to be an ambassador.
Thank you.
Yes, you are joining our team. We're so excited. Um, how did you kind of decide on that? I mean, I know that you've been advocating already. And how do you feel about being an ambassador?
Okay, so when I first joined your support group, I all I heard was you all talking about VeDA, and then like it was just like good information and resources. So after the support group, I actually went on the site and I read through everything. I saw all the ambassadors. I read their stories. I even saw some people from the support group that was an ambassador for VeDA. So I was just like, this is something I could do. So as I kept coming to like the support groups and kept hearing like good things about VeDA and stuff, I made an Instagram page. But my Instagram page was basically for my family that didn't really understand what I was going through. So I would post like information about vestibular migraines and vestibular disorders, what we go through, how hard it is to like try to like control your life again, or like get your life back again and live through life with vestibular migraines. So once I started making that, like other people with vestibular migraines started reaching out to me. It was asking me questions like, do you have this? Like, do you get this symptom? What did you do for this? So and I was just telling them like what I did throughout my journey and how I handled each of those like situations that they were asking me. And I was like, wow, I actually feel like helpful, and I like helping people because like they were just like so grateful. They were telling me like they had nobody to talk to. They couldn't find nobody with vestibular migraines. And they were happy that like I was helping them and giving them advice and information and responded. So I was like, this was something I could do. And I decided to apply as an ambassador. And so, yeah, I'm very excited to be on the team.
Yes, we're so excited. 'Cause, yeah, you
Tell us a little more about your college plans.
So I go to a community college. It's Prince George's Community College in Maryland, and my major is graphic design. So I basically am a graphic designer. I do everything from like business logos, business cards, online like graphic marketing, graphic design, photography, editing, and stuff like that. So, I take all like art classes there. I take like 2D dimensional designs and like all that type of stuff with my art classes. So yeah, and I do take an in-person photography class because I plan on starting my photography business this year. And so I got a new camera for Christmas, so I got to go to college and learn how to use the camera hands on because cameras these days they're hard to use.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited for this semester, especially to be like re-enrolled and to actually have that confidence to like feel like I could do it because with the job and everything, I just feel like that just made me realize that I could do everything that I could put my mind to it. Like my dizziness can't hold me back and I can still somewhat have that life that I used to have before my diagnosis.
I love hearing you talk because it's just so encouraging. And I'm so excited for this year ahead for you. You
Thank
have so
you.
many good things going. That's so exciting. One thing I wanted to ask you was because I know you have posted about how swimming has helped you
Hmm.
a lot. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yes, so in the summertime last year, Um, after I was just going through the dizziness and I was just dizzy every day, I was like, I gotta do something this summer. So me and my boyfriend, we started like going to his family member's friend. She has like a pool, an outdoor pool in like her neighborhood. So basically we was just going there. And when I got in the pool for the first time, I was like, oh my God, I don't feel dizzy. Like what's going on? Like, it was just like that shock because like for being dizzy every day and you're looking for your dizziness, you're like, is something wrong with me? Why am I not dizzy right now? So I got in the pool and I was just having the time of my life. Like I didn't want to get out the pool. And so once I realized like I love the pool, I don't feel dizzy. I was going every day. I was there from like morning to almost closing time. And like my boyfriend be like, come on, you can't keep going to the pool every day. And I'm like, I have to. Like I don't feel dizzy. Like the pool is my safe place now. So the pool water, it like moves you. So I feel like whenever I'm moving, like walking, kind of like jogging, running, or whatever, I don't feel dizzy when I'm moving. So it's like when I'm still, I feel dizzy. So it's like when you're in the pool, like I just float, like the water moves me. So it's like I know that like the water is moving me, so I don't feel dizzy, if that makes sense. So that's why I love the pool. You don't even have to, I recommend everyone to like try it if you can because like it's really helped me and I love the pool now. And that's like how I keep myself sane. And so I try to go like 4 days a week just to like relieve that stress because I have the best times at the pool. Like
So, Ariana, what kind of symptoms were you experiencing at this time?
so during the whole time I have a list right here. I was going through the very severe panic attacks. Like everything I did, I got a panic attack. If I went to go get some water, I felt like I was like out of breath because I was just thinking like, don't get dizzy, don't get dizzy, don't get dizzy. And so I could feel like my heart racing. And so when my heart would like race like really fast, I'd get scared, be like, oh my gosh, I'm going to have a heart attack. So that caused me to be in and out of hospitals. I had the hospital literally tell me while I was in there, why are you coming in here so much? Like, you're okay. You're going to have, I remember one of the nurses said, you're going to have a long medical record. And I was just like, I know. And they was just like checking my heart, and my heart was like fine. And I didn't used to think it was going to be okay because I was getting like heart palpitations too. So sometimes, like, my heart didn't sound like it was beating normal. It would sound like weird or like all these like different like beats. And it was just like, they was like, not on rhythm. So I was getting scared because I had heart palpitations too. So that's another reason why I thought like I was gonna have a heart attack. And so I was just in and out of hospitals because of that. And I didn't know what to do or how to deal with it because it's like I would try like meditation videos on YouTube. They wouldn't like really work. So it was just hard, like trying to like finally just like calm down and like breathe and just find something that could like take my mind off of it. Depression was like really, that was like a really big part of my journey, and it's better now. I would say I'm like I'm in a better place, a happier space. The stress was a lot because, not being able to work, not being able to go out, not being able to go to stores, go shopping, everything I had to do online. I had to shop online. Couldn't go to the grocery store, so I had to order Amazon Fresh, DoorDash, all of that. So yeah, the stress was a lot, and I felt like the stress made my migraines worse. Like my head would just, I felt like my migraines got longer throughout the day. I had chest pain, so like sometimes like my back and my chest will hurt. I don't know why, but I feel like my chest pain came from like my anxiety, if that makes sense. I don't know where it came from, but I just remember keep going to the hospital for that too because like my whole chest would be hurting. I did have eye pain, so that's something I didn't talk about yet. With the light sensitivity, I still have it to this day. It's bad, especially like when I in the house and I finally go outside and the sun just hits me and my eyes just start hurting, and then that brings on a migraine, and it's like, wow, now I have to deal with a migraine for like a couple more hours till it passes over. So the light sensitivity was really bad. I had a fear of dying because I didn't know what was going on at first because I was just like, I'm going to die. And I was getting all these symptoms at once. Like, what's wrong with me? Why am I keep going back in and out of hospitals? Because, yeah, I just had a fear, just like something worse and worse was going to keep coming. It's just like every time I had a symptom, it was something like the next month or the week after, like something would just keep coming. I'm just like, how much can a person take of this? Like it was just crazy. And then back again to the stress, I was stressed about that too. And I had the numbness and vibrations and internal tremors, that's what they're called. So I felt that throughout my whole body. When I went to sleep, I had a numbness from my hands to my leg all the time. I felt like, oh yeah, it felt like pins and needles. So sometimes when I walk, it felt like I had pins and needles, the sensation in my feet and my legs, and I just hated it.
And can you talk a little more specifically on the anxiety that you felt with this?
Yes, so with the anxiety, like I said, I never had anxiety problems like in my life. Like it was just as soon as the dizziness came and the migraines and stuff, it was just like my body was just like getting like so like fed up for the stress. Like it just turned into like anxiety and like fear because it's just like, okay, I can't do this because I have this fear of falling, I have this fear of driving. I might crash or run off the road if I drive. So the anxiety was bad. I felt like I had this fear of going in the grocery stores because if I fall or something, I'm gonna be embarrassed, and who am
Mhm.
I gonna have there to help me? And my family's not there to help me, so it's just like that embarrassment, the fear and anxiety. And it was just really bad, especially going to sleep at night where you hear like it's quiet in your room when you want to go to sleep. So you hear like your heartbeat beating out your chest, and you just like you try to like calm yourself down. You like calm down, like it's gonna be okay, but your heart keeps beating fast, and then that turns into it beating faster. Then I have that fear of having a heart attack again. So then I try to like get up and just try to like walk around when I feel like I'm actually gonna have like a heart attack. Yeah, I was very like upset in life, and I hated my life back then. Like I'm not gonna lie, I hated it. I was just so mad because it was just like, I just felt like everything was just like ripped from me, and then everything was just like taken away. And I couldn't do nothing about it. I did overcome it. Like I said, I was thinking that better days wouldn't come, but they did come. And like I'm working now, and I can go out to on a couple dates. I could go to the spa. I could go to the mall. I could go grocery shopping. I just have to have like those can't be in there for too long. I can't do this for too long, but I could do it now. So I will say I overcome like that negativity and that being mad at life. So yeah, I did overcome that, and I'm in a happier space now because better days did come. I just had to keep my head up and keep hoping and having faith.
And I
So
think that's so common that we go through that, you go through that. We always call it kind of the grieving period, like grieving your old life. Because you feel like you're a prisoner in your own body
Yeah.
because you want to do things and your body and your brain just won't let you. And it's just awful.
I get so emotional, like to the point where I'm about to cry, especially when you just going through your camera roll and you see like the life before vestibular migraines and your condition, and it just makes you so sad because you see how happy you was back then, and then now you're just like not as happy or in that happy space that you were when life was good, life was okay. So that still affects me to this day. I try not to keep scrolling too far on my camera roll because it makes me sad because it's like I missed that old life before being dizzy every day and having these migraines and stuff. Like I said, I was very active. I was a cheerleader. I was in gymnastics. I was in majorette dancing. I did track. I did boxing, basketball. I did all the sports. So I was like very active and like in shape and healthy and stuff. And I would go to amusement parks every weekend. I would go to Sky Zone. I would just do it, like do all the fun stuff that you would do. So yeah, that was pretty much my life before that. I was just very active and stuff, especially with gymnastics. Like I was a gymnast. I was on a gymnastics team and stuff, and I could flip. I would be on the bars and like the beam and stuff like that. So it's just like it's just heartbreaking and like I can't do that anymore because I feel like if I would have continued with the gymnastics, I probably could have went to after my community college, I could have transferred into a gymnastics program at a 4-year college and probably went to the Olympics. It's like the what ifs. If you kept doing it, I could have been good. Maybe I could have been like a popular gymnast in the world or something and stuff. So it was just very heartbreaking.
what is some other words of encouragement you could advise, especially young people going through this?
What I can tell you going through this is definitely don't waste time. Go to your doctor, tell them your symptoms, what you're going through, and after you get to like your diagnosis, with vestibular issues or any issue, really, just start doing your research, start finding like doctors or physicians that specialize in like your diagnosis and what you're going through. um don't be afraid to like try stuff, like if it's like you really have like a really bad concern about like a medication or any type of thing that will help. I would just talk to your doctor about it, do your research, keep your head up, try to find a support group or people to talk to that understand what you're going through so you're not alone. And just to know that your life is not over. I thought my life was going to be over because last year I was like, how am I going to live the rest of my life dizzy every day? How am I going to do this? So, yeah, just keep your head up, just find someone to talk to, and just don't waste time and do your research. And your life is not over if you feel like that already. It's better days will come. I had to realize that, and they did come. So yeah, just don't give up and always have hope and faith because that's what keeps you going. Life life gets better. You have bad days, you have good days, but you just gotta keep pushing forward for having that hope and faith that you'll get better.
And I know, Ariana, you've been working hard on your social media pages.
Mhm.
So, before I ask you where everyone can find you, how do you find all your content and all your informative pieces? How do you
Okay,
put it all together?
okay. So like my content and my informative pieces, I normally just like get information about like vestibular migraines from like reliable sources. So like, John Hopkins or like other hospitals or like clinics
Mhm.
that like treat vestibular migraines. And I make like, cause I'm a graphic designer, I try to make like like flyers or like a post that like will catch your eye. So like you will click on it if you actually like we're looking for a vestibular migraine like posts and stuff that and you need help and advice. So I try to make it like look nice and like presentable. So it's like you want to click on it. And I also like go with like my own information too. So I put anything that like has helped me throughout this journey with like a specific like symptom or anything. I try to put that on my pages as well with the advice and just everything about what I'm talking about. So yeah.
I love it. I love what you've been putting out there.
Thank
And
you.
so we'll be sure to list all your sites, but what are they, just so we know?
My Instagram is Ari's Dizzy World, and so is my YouTube channel. It's Ari's Dizzy World.
Perfect.
Yeah, we'll link those in the description below. So feel free to check out Areyana and please like and subscribe her YouTube page. We need to get the subscribers for her. So like and subscribe.
Thank you.
And I just want to say, Ariana, I just think you're such an incredible, amazing person. You have so much positivity and drive and just your energy to move forward. It's just so encouraging. So
Thank you.
I'm so thankful to have met you, and
You
I know
too.
you're going to do amazing things. So thank you so much for being on with us today.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.